Hey y'all, you want to know a secret? We all live the same life. Well, sort of. Sit down with us as we discuss various topics regarding being married millennials, where your spouse is both your best friend and your pain in the, well, you know.
Girl, I just started.
Oh, well. Hello, people.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Married to Millennials podcast. I'm Tuck.
I'm Tired Mishi.
What in the world?
Here's Johnny.
Yes. I love the enthusiasm, man. Trying to hype yourself up. I hear you.
Woo.
Yes. So I want to do something fun because last episode was a little heavy. What you think?
Let's do it.
All right. So I want you to read and react. Okay.
Read and react. What am I
Mm-hmm.
reading?
Well, I'm gonna read. You're gonna react.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. This week.
Long.
Okay. That's fair. I just want one word. That's perfect.
Just
That's
one word?
perfect. Keep it
Okay.
going. Yes. Let's see.
This is the first thing to come to mind type thing.
Yes,
Okay. All right.
exactly.
Got it.
Read and react. Husband.
Childish.
You talking about yourself for that response? Will you crack yourself up, huh?
You asked me the first thing that came to my mind.
Uh-huh. Got you.
Hard worker.
Thank you. I like that. I like that better than childish. Motherhood.
Beautiful.
And Chris Brown.
My fave.
So I thought you would have said fave on husband,
Hmm.
but I did that on purpose
Hmm.
because no, don't say anything else. We're just gonna roll past that. I'm gonna let that slide. I'm going to let that slide.
I really hope he comes to Charlotte or
Yeah, that's what
somewhere nearby because I
in honor of his tour coming. I mean, he's a great artist. And I know that is your celebrity crush favorite artist. Is he all wrapped up in one?
Sure.
Because he's multifaceted.
Yeah.
Got you.
Sounds great.
So, I mean, I'm even scared to even ask this question now. So I'm just gonna
You
ask
gonna
it.
buy the meet and greet package for me?
Absolutely not.
Oh. Where are we going with this?
Only if I meet him as well, and we both gonna be in the picture.
So you gonna
Arms
buy
around.
2 meet and greet packages?
No, I'm confident. I'm good. He could take a picture of my wife. You better not try nothing crazy though.
Oh my gosh.
The reason I ask
Did you hear my
is
throat?
I did. Oh my god.
A lot going on.
Fun fact, y'all. Mishi can't burp.
No.
Her just it just bubbles and gargles.
Never comes up.
Never comes up. That is funny. So either we'll edit
Something's
it out,
wrong.
or you'll just hear it. So there we go.
That
The
was
reason I
actually my mouth,
asked,
though.
yeah, it was. Thank God. The reason I asked is because there was a a lady. This was around the first time the 11/11 tour. Only reason I know all these terms is because of you. But it was the
Well, that's not his
11/11
first
tour.
tour. But
Well,
go
no,
ahead.
this is the most recent one with the meet and greet.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So a lady did the meet and greet, and her picture was
Throat keeps doing that.
you two calm down over there. So the lady did the meet and greet, right? And her picture came out, and everyone saw the picture, and everybody was like, "Oh man, that's great! He does stuff for his fans. Whatever his fans want, his fans get."
Well, yeah, he said they spending all that money. He
Hmm.
gonna take whatever picture. I mean, that's a hustle. I get it. I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. We ain't talking about Chris Brown. Get your hustle on. We talking about this lady.
Okay.
Fast forward, I don't even think the two pictures or two videos were even weeks apart. The next picture on her timeline was her at her wedding. And everybody was like, wait, she's married? So she had this I don't even know, I wouldn't even call it provocative. It was very suggesting picture with Chris Brown. So everybody thought she was single, this is my boyfriend, blah blah blah. But she was actually engaged and about to be married.
Mm-hmm.
You don't seem to see nothing wrong with this picture.
Get it. I get where people will like make their opinions or whatever. But I
Uh-huh.
mean, in her eyes, she probably was like, I'm just having some fun. Like, it's really no big deal. I'm not going home with Chris Brown.
Yeah, yeah. But what the icing on the cake is that in the comments, I think he was just trolling, and he was like, Babe, do you love Chris Brown more than me? And she commented underneath, telling me some know your limits. Like,
Know your role.
like,
Don't get your
it-
feelings hurt.
but here's the thing, like to them, like both of them, like it was understanding, like I was just playing or whatever. But the internet went crazy for that
Because
comment.
everybody on the internet has an opinion about everybody else's life. That's why.
That's a good point. Yes. So confident. If you want to go do the meet and greet, you go right ahead, girl. I know you just better have a better answer for husband and Chris Brown, and you better switch him or something. He's a hard worker. I'm your fave, so let's just let that be known. All right.
You sound jealous.
I'm not. No, not at all. First of all, not at all.
Mm.
Anyway,
Anyway.
let's get to the topic at hand. Since we okay, so that's your grandma. You say your little friend. Since Chris Brown, your little friend. We're gonna talk about friends. All right. You
Uh-huh.
know the saying. I want you to finish it. See, your friends are my friends, and my friends are.
Crazy.
You talking about your friends or mine? You saying your
No.
friends? Yeah, you said my friends are crazy. So you're talking about you, or you talking about my friends?
What?
Are you confused?
Yeah.
It says your friends are my friends, and my friends are.
You're talking
You're
to
talking about my friends, right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. But guess what? They're your friends too.
Yeah.
That's just how it came to be, and it wasn't. It wasn't forced on our end. It just became organic and everything. Right?
What wasn't forced?
It wasn't forced, right?
It depends on which part we're talking about.
Okay. Okay. Well, okay. Let's go back to my friends, my friend circle. Okay. I don't think I forced um, you to be friends with my friends. I kind of forced for the company to be all together, and it just kind of organically kind of happened, right? Right? Don't you think?
Sure.
Now, I will tell you one friendship that was forced.
Are you going to admit to this on a recording?
I am going to admit it on the recording.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my friend Trey forced you and Siobhan to be friends.
Mm-hmm.
We just knew it had to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I will admit it. Now, did we?
Write it down, mark it down, put a date on it.
So here's the thing. I don't think it. I think it was forced, but after we together was like, hey man, listen, like you need this to work because blah blah blah, right? It just
What
happened.
said no? You can't go blah blah blah. What
Yes,
what
blah
was the
blah blah.
conversation?
It
Hey
was more of.
Dracula, blah blah blah.
Oh my god, you're in rare form tonight.
I'm
Uh,
tired.
but no, it wasn't forced. It was just like we both like were putting forth a great effort to make it work, and it wasn't
Great
like
effort by convincing us that we are supposed to be best friends
okay,
too.
yes, I may have pep talked you a little bit, just a little bit, and say, hey, babe,
Let's be real here.
okay. I just said have an open mind.
That is not what
That's not what I
happened.
said. What I say? What I say?
Trey's coming into town. He's bringing his new girl.
Uh huh.
Y'all need to hit it off.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna be best friends just like us.
Yes. What's wrong with that?
You cannot force a best friend title. I don't use that lightly.
Okay. Okay, maybe we came off a little strong with the best friend part. Maybe we should have said y'all should have started off as acquaintances and then
Or you
friends
could
and
have
then
just
da da da.
said, hey, Trey's coming into town. He's bringing his lady.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to meet her.
Okay.
And I would have been like, okay.
Mm-mm.
Yes,
Mm-mm.
I would have.
No. I
Yes,
gotta
I would have.
mm-mm. I gotta feed it
No,
in
no,
a
no,
little bit.
no,
I
no,
gotta talk
no,
it
no,
up.
no, no, no. I didn't have. I
No?
would have not have had any issue with meeting someone.
Uh-huh.
Now, you had to go further and say like, oh, they're gonna stay with us
Uh-huh.
and whatever. But I mean, I had already kind of met her,
Mm-hmm.
just not like us personally talking. You know what I mean? Like
Got
not
you.
like
Okay.
sitting around talking. But you can't force it on somebody. You can't be like, "Oh, y'all got to be really good friends because we're good friends." No,
Yeah.
I don't have to be.
Okay. Got you. You're right. Here's the thing. It wasn't well, it was kind of we wanted it to work because here's the thing. Okay, let me back up. So let's say this. Let's say just hypothetically, y'all, this isn't real. Let's just say you didn't like Siobhan. How awkward would that be if I'm like, hey Trey, man, you want to meet up like this or whatever, like yeah. So then we would have to literally go. Well, I might go hang with Trey. Siobhan coming. You sure you want to go? That becomes awkward. Like we wanted it to work so those situations wouldn't happen.
Yeah, but
But
you can't
knowing,
force it either. So, like,
I
you
know,
trying to force it on me wouldn't have made the situation any better.
yeah. Well, it worked. So here we go.
Nothing worked. We ended up being friends
Yeah,
because we actually genuinely liked each other.
yeah. And y'all found out how much I like y'all were too. So there's
We're very similar,
that.
but we're
Yes.
also different.
Okay. Got you.
And that's
Okay.
okay.
Got you. Okay.
And we got to know each other. But
Right.
y'all forcing it made us not want to do it. You made it where we were like, I don't know about this.
Okay. Got you. Okay. Let's take it a different way. So let's just let me just paint the picture for you. So we've talked about this before. Like we're here in Greenville. Um, we have friends here, but all my friends are away, and I hear you all the time saying like, "Oh, you should hang out. You should, meet some more people." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, like that or whatever." Right? Let's just say I do, and me and him, like, we like, yeah, we got all the same similarities, whatever. He's married, and then I go, "Hey, we're gonna hang out with so and so and so and so." What's your first response?
Where are we going?
Okay.
What type of outing is this?
Yes.
Because it matters, right?
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
if I'm trying to meet somebody for the first time to figure out I like them, I don't know if I necessarily want to just go to dinner.
Okay. Or at their house.
Or yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, but nothing like that intimate
Mhm.
where all I have is them.
Okay.
You know what I'm
I
saying? Like
understand.
all I
Yeah.
have is them, and like if I need an out, I don't have one.
Right. Okay.
But maybe it's going, to one of the arcades or something like that where
Mhm.
I can walk away and play another game, or I can
Yeah.
have a breather, or there's other things to do than just stare into someone's face.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I think that matters to me.
Okay. Got you.
Or maybe it's a group of people hanging out, and so then you can kind of figure out who you mesh well with, right?
Okay. I like that idea. Okay. Yeah. Got you. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. That's one thing I do fear. You know what I mean? Like
What?
I do fear that idea of like I meet someone. And it sounds so crazy, but I meet someone and we're like, we hit it off. We're cool or whatever. We start hanging out, and we're like, oh yeah, we should get the wives together like that. And then it's awkward because either his either his wife weird, or
Well, maybe
y'all
they
just
think
don't
I'm
mesh,
weird.
or that too. Yeah,
I mean, everybody has their vices.
yeah,
But I mean, just because we aren't best friends doesn't mean I won't go anywhere.
okay,
I'm just not gonna be calling her up and being like, "Let's go
yeah,
do X, Y, and Z." I know how to be cordial. I
yeah,
know how to be a wife. You know what I mean? Like,
right,
that's okay, but that just doesn't mean that the way our friend group is right now doesn't mean that that's gonna transition to everybody.
hmm. So basically, you're telling me that I shouldn't try to orchestrate a friendship. I should just let it happen.
Let it
Let
be.
it be.
I mean,
Got
like,
you.
I think you live in this fantasy world because our friend group,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a bunch of married couples,
Right.
pretty
Uh
much,
huh.
majority of it. And everybody just meshes, you know?
Hmm.
But you have to realize, like, that came from one, the guys being knowing each other for a long time and
Yeah.
kind of evolving. And then the girls kind of, we've been around each other so long. So now it's like a genuine friendship.
Right. Okay. Got you. Yeah, I guess, and I mean, it's like I said, it's tough because we don't have that like in our backyard anymore, like it used to be. Like we used to be closer, and then now we're all separate ways. So I guess I'm trying to force that here in Greenville.
How are you forcing that though? Because you don't go anywhere, and I've never met
Yeah, you're
anybody
right.
else new.
I think I'm getting in my own head as well too. Like I don't want to try to do it and it don't work. I think that's more of what what it is, to
You
be
go to
honest with
work and
you.
you come home,
I do.
and
Yeah.
then on the weekends you're with
Yep.
us.
Yep.
So
I'm pretty boring. So all right.
I
So
try
what
to
you
get you
saying
go out with
is,
Charles sometimes.
oh, I know, but hey, listen, we both be
Oh,
busy.
he's busy
Listen.
too, yeah.
Right, exactly. So yeah, so we'll try. Now I have another question for you. We talked about the marriage circle. Now, how do you feel about well, I'll ask it both ways. How do you feel with me hanging out with men who are single? How do you feel about it
I don't have an
personally?
issue with it personally because the only person that has to have loyalty to me is you.
Okay.
So if you going out with single people would change that, then that's on you. That ain't got
Yeah.
nothing to do with them. I think I think to a certain extent, like hanging out with a bunch of single people, they have different ideas and plans and things like that for what might be happening when they go out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you have to think about that. Like, is
Right.
that something that's conducive to your
Mm-hmm.
married life?
Yeah.
Not that you can't go have fun and stuff like that, but
Mm-hmm.
like just the intentions behind stuff. So
Right.
I'm big on intention.
Yeah.
So I don't have any issues with you having a bunch of single friends. I
Yeah.
just think it depends on how you react around
Yeah.
them.
Right. And here's the thing, like I of course no intentions of anything that they got going on, but I also don't want to be lumped into a category and be guilty by association. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm big on and we've talked about this before. I'm big on how what people think and perception as well too. I just don't. For me, this is me personally. I just don't see one the joy. One, I mean, for me is I don't feel see the joy of going out, and then also I don't see the joy of going out with a guy who is going hunting. I guess you could just say because you got to be honest. When a guy goes out and they're single, they're going to find someone, and I don't want to be lumped into that at all.
Maybe they want you to be their wingman.
I don't even want to be that wingman. And I think the only person you let me be wingman to is probably Greg. I don't think you would let me be wingman to a
Listen, we're
complete.
not even gonna go down this rabbit hole with Greg because it's at nighttime and I probably say stuff that you don't
Hey,
want me to
hey,
say
hey.
on this mic
No, what I'm saying is it has to be
because Greg
someone.
no Gregory.
You call that man's government
Oh, I
name
probably
out.
should have done that.
Nope, you should not have done that.
He knows.
Just say Greg.
He understands.
All right. But I was
He
giving you an
understands.
example. I was giving you an example. I was not asking you to open the door.
I will try to be his wingman and he does not let me.
Pause. I said it would have to be someone mutual. Okay, it would be have somebody that you know as well too, because you would have to know what their intentions are as well too, and that they wouldn't put me in a situation.
Again, you are in control of your own
Of
self
course, yes,
and you
I
know
know
you have a
this.
wife and kids. So
I
I'm not
understand.
worried about what they got going on.
Right. Okay. But I'm saying it would be better if it was someone that you knew.
No, I mean,
Yeah, got you.
that's just because I know the situation.
Now for me, I honestly don't. I mean, a lot of your friends are single, and I don't care about that either. And I don't care that you go out with them. I don't care that you know what I mean. Like that doesn't bother me at all. Like because I think it's more of the trust that we built as well too. That we don't even need to check up on each other or nothing like that. I just understand that it's just going out. It's
But
different for
also,
women too,
like
though.
my friends would never even think to put us in a weird situation,
That's
just the
true.
way you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So like they not thinking about that.
Right.
The most my friends want to do is go out to eat because
Mm-hmm.
we're all foodies. We like to eat. So
True. True. Y'all are just going to brunch. Now, the second part to that. How do you feel about having a friend of the opposite sex?
like a best friend.
No. Negative. First of all, the only best friend I have of the opposite sex is you.
I'm asking, are you saying like a best
No,
friend or just a friend in
no.
general?
Okay, well, I mean, for our situation, just friend, and we'll go into the whole best friend thing.
I mean, I think we just established like
Mm-hmm.
your friends are my friends are your friends. So I mean, I do
Yeah,
have guy friends. I mean,
yeah.
like I think if I send Jimmy or Greg or
Mm-hmm.
whoever
Yeah.
a text. I don't have to put you in it.
Right.
It's a group message. I just send them a text. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because it's normal.
Right. But see, that's different though because that's a mutual friend.
Yeah.
I'm talking about somebody that's either not my friend or I don't really know like that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, again, I think it comes down to intention because
Hmm.
I mean, I have friends from high school and stuff like that that I could have potentially still, chatted with a lot.
Hmm.
It's just, life goes on and
Right.
you lose touch with people. Um, so I don't, I mean, I'm trying to think because I don't want to leave nobody out, but I don't necessarily have like a guy friend
Hmm.
that I chat with on
That's
the,
true.
norm
Yeah.
or anything like that. So, but again, I think it comes down to intention.
Hmm. Yeah. But here's the thing. Let's back up because I mean we have also been married for 10 years and together for
Yeah, so I mean, at this point, there will be no friend that I have that you didn't know.
right. That's true. That's true. Well, let's kind of back up then. What about when we first started dating and we first got married? Because there were some out there, but I mean, here's the thing though. I've met all of them.
Okay, so here's the thing. When
Okay.
we first started dating, I was fresh out of high school, so of course I still had all my high school friends.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too far fetched then
Hmm.
or too far gone that we were engaged. So I mean like
Yeah.
that
That's
that was
true.
still like that transitional time of still have my high school friends
Hmm.
consistently.
Right.
Again, I I could still reach out to them now and it would be like we never lost touch, but
Hmm.
just life. So I mean there would not be anybody in our current situation that
Yeah.
you wouldn't have known.
Right. Exactly. True. True. How do you feel about me having a friend of the opposite sex?
I feel like if there was a friend
Hmm.
that you had before we got together
Hmm.
and y'all were just good friends, like who am I to say you
Yeah.
can't have a friend? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, again, it
Hmm.
comes down to intention.
Intention. Yeah.
And I think in that situation, it does come down to the intention of both parties
Hmm.
because this person knows you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
And if they're really your friend,
Right.
like are you moving strange or are you acting truly as a friend,
Right.
Because there are some times when I've seen it
Yeah.
when guys have, and it can go both ways, but I'm just
Yes. I
speaking of
understand.
like
Yeah. From your yeah.
when guys have girls as friends, like
Hmm.
best friends, and they get jealous
Hmm.
once someone else is in the picture
Yeah.
because they're used to all the attention and things, even if they never really intended on being like that way with their friend.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah. No, I
still
get it.
have this, what am I trying to say, possessiveness
Entitlement. Yeah.
over him
Hmm.
because of the longevity of the friendship and stuff like that. So
Right.
I think at that point you got to figure that out
Hmm.
because that can affect a relationship.
Hmm.
We didn't have to really necessarily deal with that.
No.
There was a situation
Hmm.
with a friend
Hmm.
that we nipped in the bud,
Yes.
but other than that,
Yes.
so watching like the entitlement and
Yeah.
stuff like that of
I
a
get that.
friend after they've known about your relationship,
Right.
um, I think that can be hard. That can be
Hmm.
difficult when someone thinks they should come first.
Yeah. And I feel like, from my point of view, I feel like that should be a conversation that I should have if that is the case. That should be more of a conversation like, hey, this is my lady. I need you to respect that. I need you to do these different things. These are our boundaries. This is you can't, you know what I'm saying? If things change. If they decide, you know what, I respect that you came at me that way. You're right. But if they go crazy, then that is your sign right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just more of like, hey,
Hmm.
I do have my lady now,
Yeah.
and I can't just text you at all hours of the night. Like
Right.
that's disrespectful to her.
Right. Right.
Or, I'm going to prioritize our date nights
Hmm.
over hanging out.
Yeah.
So don't feel any type of way if I can't
Hmm.
make something.
Right. And and I hate to go reality show. I mean, we watch it together, so it's kind of I want to use it as an
Oh, please,
example.
you do not have to give that caveat. Go
I do.
ahead.
We do watch it together. You didn't go ahead over a Netflix show. The Netflix show that I'm
Anyway,
talking about in
sound bitter.
particular is Love Is Blind. And oh man, see, I don't even remember the guy's name, but you probably know his name once I start talking about him. So he had two friends, and when they introduced, I was like, "What was the first?" It was two friends. They sat at the table, and then she walked up. What was the first thing that you said? What did no? Honestly, what was the first thing that you said when they walked up, and that was his friends?
So he been with them before.
Sure enough, you did. That was your
Hmm.
instinct, right?
Yeah.
Sure enough, as it goes on, the his fiance blurted out that they had sex together and that they were together.
Hmm.
Your spidey senses were tingling when you
Yeah.
first saw it.
Well,
You know
because
what I mean?
they had that possessiveness.
They did.
Like it was just very awkward.
hmm
Like very weird. And it's noticeable.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say something. And I mean, this is. I mean, I know I'm not the only one that thinks this, but if it was the roles reversed, and the girl was there, and she said, "Oh, this is my guy friend," before we even go there, I'm gonna go ahead and say, "Oh yeah, he must be gay." That's the first thing I think. For it to be a guy friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but why though?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just different. I think here, and this is, we can go back to that double standard episode. I think with a guy having a girlfriend, that society already thinks that either he wants her or he wants him, right?
Hmm.
And I feel like with women are straightforward. They're nipping in the bud. Ain't nothing happening. Like if it was a guy that was straight.
Some of them, yeah.
So that straight guy isn't gonna hang around. But that gay friend, because he has no intention, it's nothing, like nothing's happening. So he's gonna be one that stays around.
Or maybe I just have a friend who is a true friend to me and doesn't want anything from me.
That's true. How often does that happen?
It probably could happen more often than not. It's
Okay.
just that society makes up these conclusions.
Yeah. Okay. Got you. What you want to believe? I'm just saying.
You
That's just
asked
from.
me my
I
opinion,
know. I did.
and
I
I'm
did. Yeah.
saying
I
to
know.
you,
Yes.
I mean,
I mean, it could work.
if that's the case, that means you never have a true friend.
Ah. Okay.
If that's the case, right?
Yes.
Because I think
Okay.
about like having friends in high school, having meeting people in college and
Mm-hmm.
being friends with them.
Mm-hmm.
Then and nothing happened.
Right.
So
Yeah.
did it say, oh no, I'm not friends with them because
Nothing happening. Yeah.
yeah, like
Okay.
no.
That's
I
true.
mean, not everybody has to want something from you.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Because if that's the case, you'll never have a true friend.
You're right. I agree with that. Now I want to go back to because I want to do role reversal. When we talked about me, finding a guy that I can hang out with as a friend. He's married. Now I want to flip it around, and this is just my situation. So say you have a girl that you're like, oh, she's cool. We can hang out. You found out she's married.
Hmm.
I'm gonna I'm gonna set this story up.
Okay.
I'm gonna set it up. So you get this friend. You're like, oh yeah, they're married. They're hanging out. We're gonna hang out together. And what am I saying? Cool, like that. I will tell you something. As a husband, we will all out don't know these dudes. These are skits on Instagram and everything. I don't know these dudes. We get together. We look at each other. We have a mutual agreement in our eyes. We're here to make our wives happy. I'm not gonna lie to you. We will sit there and be like king of the hill and go, yep, yep, just to make our wives happy.
Okay,
But here's the
so
thing.
maybe that's true for most people, but
Okay.
you,
Uh-huh.
Charles,
Okay. You loving these government names tonight.
you are a people's person by fault.
Okay.
And you will talk to any and everybody willingly
Okay.
for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't got nothing to do with making me happy. I will lose you in a crowd.
But ultimate thing is to make you happy, babe.
Oh my gosh. No, you'll go in there and you'll be the life of the party because that's who you are. You like to be center of
Okay. All
attention.
right. Okay. But here's the thing though. I wouldn't say I go above and beyond, but I mean I do like meeting new people. And
Exactly.
if you make it easier, it just so happened that it's easy that we end up meeting each other because of the wife. And hey, there we go.
Exactly.
Okay, but all right, I'm speaking for the men who are introverts. All
Okay.
right, speaking for the introverts who know that I don't really. For that person, if you're listening, for that guy who does not like people, and
I don't like people.
you're right. Hence why I said first.
I really don't.
But for that guy that doesn't like people, I know I'm talking to you. You will do what it takes to make your wife happy. You will sit there and have fake conversations for your wife.
Some will, some
Yes.
won't.
Uh-huh. You're right. I think for the majority, if you're in a solid marriage and you're for your woman, you're gonna do that. You're gonna sacrifice that. And that's what I do every time.
Oh, Blaze.
So basically what you're saying in a marriage, I call it an ecosystem. We call it the married club. We have a kind of an understanding that one, I mean, this is just for us two. We know that we want to be around like-minded people, correct?
Yeah.
So that's something that we strive for, when it comes to that. So we want to make sure that we have some of the same goals, have some of the same, well, not fully same ideals, but we all know that either we're married with kids and people understand that we have kids as well too, and we like to be around those type of people
That's
when
what I
it
was about to
comes.
say because
Yeah.
it's not necessarily. I want to make sure I'm clear about that. It's not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily that everybody has to be married.
Yeah.
It's everybody has to understand the ideal of marriage
Ah, got you.
and the importance of it for me. Like
Yes.
my
Okay.
friends, my friends, even the ones who are single,
Mm-hmm.
understand how important my family is to me.
Yes.
And
Okay.
so for that piece of it, they're not gonna, put me in a position that would jeopardize any of that,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
And so they can still have the same mindset
Yeah.
and could be potentially working towards it themselves.
Yeah. True.
So I think I want to just make sure that's clear because
Right.
just because people are married don't mean they have the same mindset either.
Oh.
Because there's some
Right.
single married people out there,
Ooh.
and I don't want you around them either. You know what I
Ooh.
mean? Because you
Yes.
talk about birds of a feather.
Uh-huh. Ooh. That's
Yeah,
y'all, this girl got a song for everything, just to let y'all know. All right.
but you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Seriously,
that's
like
big.
there's some single married people out there,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't just because they're married and got a ring on their finger doesn't make them any better than the single person who is praying to God for a
Yikes.
solid
Yeah,
marriage
right.
and a family,
Uh-huh.
and want to do the right thing. Because I always say people surround themselves with people who they aspire to be
Right.
like, or like
Uh-huh.
not necessarily. I'm not saying like
Yeah, no,
imitate
no,
or
no, no.
whatever.
I know what you
I'm
mean.
saying like
Common goals.
common things that they
Right.
like. Okay, if I want to be here in the business, who you gonna surround yourself with?
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
CEOs and all that. You're gonna get to know
Right.
those people,
Right.
and so single people might have the same mindset and
Mm-hmm.
and same thoughts, and so hanging with some married people
Yeah.
may give them an insight to marriage and what they want
Right.
to see and what they don't want to see.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got the flip side of the people who are single in marriage
Yeah.
and just throwing it around like it's just something to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that don't make them like-minded just because they're
Right.
married. So I just
That's
want to make
true.
sure that's clear of
So
how I feel.
no, I totally agree with that because title isn't everything.
No
It's more of like we said multiple times, it's all about intention and goals.
value.
Yes, exactly.
If you don't really value, a strong marriage, then
Mhm.
you're gonna throw it away or do things that is not conducive to a good one.
Mhm.
Like that's not like-minded to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like just because you're married don't mean we hang out in a group.
And I feel like that circles back to follow me now. That circles back
I'm
to
following.
hold on, I didn't want you to think I was going on a tangent. And I feel like that is the basis to friendship in the first place is having someone who's like minded. So I feel like here, let's back it up. So think about high school. maybe not in your situation, but I know for me, people who were friends were people who were doing the same thing.
It's friendship out of convenience.
There you go. Exactly. So they may all play the same sport as you. They may all be in the same club as you, but some of them don't have the same mindset as you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where sometimes where it comes to what we talked about before, how you kind of grow out of a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the time, it was because y'all were around each other all the time. Now, in my situation, so I feel like from high school to college, it kind of changes because now you're amongst people who kind of have some of the same common goals, some of the
Some
same,
of them.
some of them, yes, and some of them, but they all have some of the common goals, and you're not all together because you're in this one, you know, area or ecosystem or doing things because you meet a lot of people in college, but
Yeah,
everybody
but
that
then
you
you
meet
also become friends with people because y'all have the same classes and things
true.
like that. You're studying together, and those also can fizzle out.
That's very true. And then that goes to the next stage in life. And I can't remember what the lady's name was, but she was talking about that, about having friendships um after your 30s. And once you hit a certain age, I think it was, I can't remember what age it was, but it was like you start to look at people differently of the people that you're around. Because one, like especially for us, like be honest with you, I really don't have no time to waste on somebody who don't have the same common goals as me. And like we just like, oh, okay, yeah, what we talking about now? So like when you're looking for someone to hang out with or to be friends with, it's somebody who has those same common goals that we were just talking about. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it all comes back full circle to let you know that hey, you're not friends with that person because of a title or things that you're around or being in the same place.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
not by
totally agree with that.
convenience.
Yes, for sure. So we have mutual friends and it works. I didn't force it, but some of them I did. You don't force it. We just kind of let it happen because once again, we have
I
some of
mean,
the
I
same
consider
common
them
goals.
family at this point.
Yeah,
Like
that's
that
true. That
that's
that
just
one
what
don't
that
count.
is.
Right, exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
so it's all good.
Here we go. Well, sometimes you don't like your family, but
Yeah, I mean, me and Gregory fight,
Stop it.
but I mean, here we are,
It's my guy.
still a brother
Yeah, you're right. That's true. Siblings fight,
all the time.
but y'all love each other though.
Draymond, I mean, we fight.
That's true. Yeah.
He forgot my birthday.
Oh,
Hmm.
you went there?
And come to with it all that church speech. Forgive me, it's
Oh,
my head and not my
no.
heart.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Birthday.
Yeah. And your friends are like my sisters. So, I look out for them. They look out for
Mm-hmm.
me. Here
Mm-hmm.
we go. All right, y'all. Talk to you later. What's up, family? Did you enjoy the episode? Well, great. Show some love. Follow us on the Married to Millennials podcast YouTube channel. Follow us on every major platform for podcasts. And if you really want to tap in, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at M2M Podcast. Let's go.